Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Well, maybe this morning I will do once again an overview of walking a path to realization. What's beneficial, what's not beneficial, etc. Okay. And how to really begin the journey. And I've got quite a few videos out there on these, but maybe it's time just to do yet again one more, refresh it. Where to begin? Okay, one book that I recommend for people, because the first thing is coming to being in the moment, to learn how to be in the moment. Now, there's a lot of mistaken notions about what being in the moment actually is. Okay, if you're actually in the moment, okay, you're not bouncing back and forth from the past drama to the projections in the future. Okay, being fully in this moment is just seeing what is exactly happening now in this moment without the colorizations of past and the things you want to distance yourself from by projecting into the future. So how to learn to come into this moment in time? One book that I recommend for starting students would be Jon Kabat-Zinn's Wherever You Go, There You Are. It's a good one of just how to start to step back in your life, take a chill pill, okay, take a breather, and start to recognize what's going on around you without trying to follow 10 different things at a time. You want to come to the point of doing one thing at a time. Okay. When the mind starts going off on a tangent for something else, you keep bringing it back to what you are working on or focusing on in the moment. Okay. This is a starting point. We have to start somewhere. Okay. There are some, here I give the balanced breath. Balanced breath is extremely important. If you wind up with a Kundalini awakening, you want to have your breath be balanced, okay? I have videos out there that will give you instruction on how to do the balanced breath, okay? So you can do, throughout the day, take a moment to make sure your breath is balanced. It helps to slow you down, slow mind down, etc., and come a little bit more present. Okay. This path is about learning to be present with not trying to create some fantasy notions and other coverings. It's about getting rid of all the coverings to see what's actually there and what's actually not. Okay. It's coming to reality rather than one spin that they want to put on so-called reality, their soap opera. I call it their soap opera because everyone comes in with a story. How you were mistreated, how you were abused, or how mommy and daddy were so wonderful and nobody else could be this wonderful. Whatever your story is, it doesn't matter which direction it goes, you still have a story. The soap opera, okay? And if we have a soap opera that's not so great, we'll have a tendency to go into the big pity party, and we'll bang that drum forever. And everybody needs to feel sorry for us, and that's how we get our energy. We feed off of it. And the more you continue to expound on that story, the bigger your parade becomes, and the more solidified you make it. Okay? So you're not getting out of it in that direction. You're only securing it and substantiating the drama. Okay? So this path is about how to release those traumas, how to go beyond all the driving drama that you have going on in your life. So again, the first thing is to learn how to be a little bit more in the moment. One thing I tell people, if you're in depression, you're in depressive states, to begin with, start with a gratitude journal. Find at least 3 things in a day that you're grateful for and write them down. I don't care if it's only a cool breeze on a hot day. It doesn't matter. Find 3 things that you're honestly grateful for in a day. This begins to pull you out of that only seeing negative, negative, negative. Okay, so we want to first come to a point where we can actually begin to focus. Okay, there are some mantra one can do. We do the I am that I am, which is focused on the heart center. You close your eyes and I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am. This sets up a little bit of a centering and a nice vibration to begin with, because we are only that. We are all only that I am. Okay, so we want to first get to that I am, and then beyond that, we go even further beyond that, where that deconstructs into that is. Okay, that permanent is. Okay, when your eyes are open, to start to come to a oneness, where everything you see, at least this interconnection, okay, this bliss, this heart-centered, that all of creation comes from this one source. So whatever the eye see, one does the mantra Om that I am. I'm this, but I'm also that. Om that I am. Om that I am, Om that I am, Om that I am, Om that I am, Om that I am. Okay, so this starts to break down that feeling of exclusion and that you are separate from all of creation. Okay, these are some starting points. Again, take a few moments. When you start getting hectic, you start getting hurried, take a few moments to just come into yourself and do the I am that I am, or if your eyes are open, Om that I am. You don't have to say it out loud. You can say it internally as well. Take a few breaths. Allow your breathing to slow and to stabilize naturally. Check every once in a while. How is your breathing pattern? Is it getting stifled? Is it, then let the body relax. Let yourself relax. Okay, come into present time. If you have something that's driving you, okay, and it's something that's fueling your negativity or anger or angst or whatever it is, say in this moment, the only thing that's happening, and just bring it back to whatever you're doing. Like in this moment, I'm having my bulletproof coffee and I'm doing this video, excuse me, and that's it. Nothing else is going on. I'm sitting in this room having my bulletproof coffee and making this video. Now, if you've got a bunch of crap going on from mommy didn't love me or this or that, or I'm going to be the most fabulous star, or what, I don't care what kind of nonsense is going on in the mind, stop. In this moment, the only thing that's taking place is X, Y, Z. Bring yourself back to what's actually taking place in reality, minus the mind spin that you want to put over it. The soap opera, the story, the drama. Okay? So just keep coming back to center. Okay? This starts to get you ready for actually just sitting and observing. Okay? Observing the mind. Watch what thoughts come and what thoughts go. Where did they come from? Where did they go to? Okay? you'll see they come from nothingness and go to nothingness. And if it's not there 24/7, then it has no reality. Only the reality that your attention to the story is fueling. Okay? So this is again that process of neti neti, not this, not this, not this. Whatever comes and goes in consciousness cannot be the eternal is, that unchanging is. Okay? That is unchanging. It doesn't come, it doesn't go. Those are only things in the divided realm that come and go. Those energies, those cognitions. Okay? If you sit, when you have a very strong emotion, just sit within it in stillness and watch it. And you'll see that these angers, these dramas are a flush of adrenaline that goes through the system, which you then layer on some sort of a mental spin on and create a story around it. But if you take it back to its elementary level, you'll see that it's a flush, a rush of adrenaline that goes through the system. Okay? So again, this is the path, Vajra Nirvana Marg, which is the name of my path, Vajra Nirvana Marg, which is the lightning bolt path to realization, the lightning bolt path. Okay, and it's named that for a couple of reasons, because this path can aid in breaking through that drama to get to what is prior to all the drama arising to begin with. Okay. This path also, if you have a connection with myself, with Guru, your Kundalini can awaken. Okay, and once Kundalini awakens, it's a 24/7 happening. You can't turn it off and turn it on. Okay, these people that sit there and say, oh, my Kundalini did this and that, and I did this with it and did that with, well, then I'm sorry, they've had a pranic surge. You cannot control Kundalini. You can work with it. But Kundalini is Kali energy, and it's there to break through all the dramas. It's there, if you read the Chandipat, what Kali was there to do, Kali and Durga, you'll see that what they were there to challenge all of the demons. And the largest demon was what? Ego. Okay, so that is what that energy is there to do. It's there to dance, do the dance through the 7 layers of consciousness. I say it's like the rotor-rooter of consciousness. It's going to bring up all your fears. It's going to bring up all of your mistaken notions, illusions, everything you've gathered and collected for eons, for centuries, for lifetimes, to be addressed, to be seen, to be looked at, and navigated through, and dispelled and put on a back burner. Okay? So that's the path that comes up. And again, when Kundalini awakens, all of these cities come, all of these different cognitions come. 1 second you're in the body, next second you're out of the body. You wake up, all of a sudden you're seeing auras, you're having these dreams that are lucid dreaming, where you're quite aware that you're dreaming and you can go off flying, you can go do all these dramas in it. Okay, all of those things happen. When Kundalini starts to awaken, you'll have all these dreams of these snakes. As it progresses, you'll have dreams of fires. You'll have dreams of buildings imploding, exploding, mountains imploding, exploding. All of those are just signs and indicators of where one is in the journey. Okay, they are signs and indicators to me of what's going on in consciousness, what's taking place where one is, if the Kundalini is just beginning to activate, if it's been there for a while. Once it is fully activated, you'll start having kriyas. It's not that you go to a yoga course and they teach you how to do all these all these different postures. The body will just automatically go in postures that it's needed to go in at that time to connect these energetic pathways. So all these yoga teachers have it, the cart before the horse. Okay. When Kundalini awakens, I say, please, 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 please do not go to these yoga teachers any longer, to these things, because you're going to wind up trying to force energy into pathways it's not needed for your system, or, you know, it just can mess up things for you. So, once again, the way that these postures came into being was people that had Kundalini awakenings started spontaneously doing these postures, and then they started teaching them. Okay, cart before the horse. Here we go. So again, once Kundalini awakens, it's established, you'll start doing mudras. Mudras will actually start happening. You might start making different bij mantras may come forward. All of these things are spontaneous, not something that you're taught and told to do. These things will just, as a natural occurrence of this awakening taking place, okay, these things will start to appear. They start manifesting. And this is why I have the forum in place and work with people how to stabilize that. What to do to, you know, get a handle on it so you don't go off and go, you know. This is why they've had so many, if you read any text that has to do with Kundalini, it says it can lead to madness and death. Well, why is that? Because if you do not have a guru in place that can help to stabilize you, that can help to walk you through it, you can go off and start doing third eye meditations and go into all these astral realms and get yourself in trouble because you don't understand what's there is illusion, okay? And you can get very caught up in it and just wind up going down this road that is not beneficial at all. This is why I never teach third eye meditations, because it's all astral realm stuff. It's all divisionary, and while it may be entertaining and people may enjoy dancing with the gods and doing all this stuff because you can literally see them, you can literally participate in them, and so many of these gurus that are out there, they've maybe had some Kundalini awaken, but they're not completed because they stopped there. And you can do third eye stuff, astral realms, ongoing for eons. Okay, the mind can continue to create these lands and these realms unendingly. But you're still stuck in Dvaita. You're still stuck in mind. You have not reached and entered moksha. You have not come close to Advaita. They come to a point of being in oneness. Oneness is pretty easy to get to, okay, where you have that heart opening, that first heart flowering, and it's bliss, and you see God in everything. Okay, this is oneness, sort of like one. Oneness, sort of like one. It's not the genuine falling away into that absolute where the mind has become still. Okay, where you have entered that still point, where you have entered and become the linga, okay, one is still dancing around it, okay? So, make no mistake, there are hallmarks on paths. This is why gurus stay in touch with students to see what the hallmarks are on the path. Now, in the forum, I may not, I used to answer every single mail that the students would put out there, and they would come and want to get energetic work done, and then they said, well, why should I do anything when I can get Swamiji to do this energetic thing on it, and it immediately puts me into a, you know, moves me forward. Why should I do anything? Well, if you're not going to walk the path, you're not going to get there. I'm sorry. So I stopped doing these hands-on energetic things for people because they actually need to walk their journey and confront themselves in order to progress. Again, you know, every tradition, you have the Buddhist traditions as well, that they have to confront themselves. Now, they'll go to great lengths. They'll go out in the mountains 8 years, 8 months, 8 days to just sit and confront the mind. But you can do this wherever you're at. And it's better to do it when you're in the midst of society, to do it in the midst of society. So you don't have this cognition that the only place I can get it is out there. No, you have to live where you're at. The path has to be done where you're at, because those are your daily things that you are dealing with. Okay? Doesn't do you any good to go up in the Himalayas and then think the only place you can have it is in the Himalayas. It's not true. Spiritual path is done where you're at. That's part of Tantra, using whatever you have, where you're at, to progress forward. Okay, Tantra is using all of life to progress forward. Okay, so let's continue to progress forward. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out here. This is kind of an overview on what it takes and gives you a starting point. Again, neti neti, not this, not this, not this. And instead of who is this I, what is this I? What is this I? Whatever comes and goes cannot be that eternal Atman or I point. And again, once we get to that eternal Atman or I point, we go beyond that to Brahman, or Pada Brahman, whichever you want to say, that which is beyond aspect, beyond form, that's never been born and never died. That which one enters creates realization, the Turiyatata state, okay, where one has gone beyond mind, and then they remain in a Sahaj, a Nirvikalpa Sahaj Samadhi, which is the same as being in an ongoing meditation. People will ask me, do you meditate? Well, no. Once the mind is still, that's meditation. One is always there, okay? It's not something that comes and goes. It's a permanent thing, okay? That state of that Sahaj state, which is effortless, remains, okay? It's not something that comes and goes. If it comes and goes, then you're still on the path. You're not completed. There's still further to go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Hopefully you've gotten some hints, and it will help you in your journey to begin, or spurred you forward to continue, whichever the case may be. Have a wonderful holidays. Namaste. Bye, everyone.